Welcome!
Welcome back to our channel.
Yes.
What do we do here?
Pop culture philosophy.
Which is a pretentious way of saying taking a deeper dive into the art that we love, whether that's music, movies, TV, whatever. Today we're doing Music Corner, which is basically where I get to play music for my wife by bands and artists that mean a lot to me, and she's forced to react and talk about it.
Yeah.
Today is very special because we are doing a song from one of my top 3 favorite rock bands of all time, Linkin Park, a band that basically got me into rock music because I never really listened to rock music prior. But once I heard Linkin Park's Breaking the Habit, like I had heard other songs by them, but once I heard Breaking the Habit, boom, I was done. I was like a fan for life. So I've been following them probably since the Meteora days. But yeah, again, I don't really need to like sing the praises of this band. They're one of the most successful bands of all time. You know, their front man, their lead singer, Chester Bennington, you know, passed away, and that was like devastating for everybody that was a fan of this band, and just in general, it hit me hard. I haven't really listened to a lot of Linkin Park since, just because it is very painful to listen to a band that has kind of been there with me for over 20 years now. So but yeah, I'm very excited that we're doing this. We have reacted to a few other Linkin Park songs in the past, so go check that out. It'll be in the pinned comment. But yeah, before we start, what are your thoughts on Linkin Park? I know you're not a huge fan, but you know, I think you've heard me play enough songs by them.
Oh yeah, I love Linkin Park. Like, you know, I know they are a good band. Yeah, their song, like their style is just not my style. But I did like listen a lot on their last album, like the very last album.
One More Light, yeah.
Yeah, One More Light, like a lot when, you know, especially when Chester passed away. I'm not a huge fan, but when Chester passed away, that even like, you know, for someone like me who doesn't really listen to them a lot, like, you know, I felt it felt really heavy because like he is such a talented person, and you know, he passed away and he touched a lot of people, so that was sad. And so I'm happy that, you know, we're listening to it right now.
So this song, actually, before we start, I just want to say thank you to all the people that have been watching us and leaving comments. Again, we appreciate every single one of you guys. We're very blessed and lucky to be doing this, so thank you guys so much. But yeah, so I'm really excited about reacting to this song from this album. This album, Minutes to Midnight, is one of my favorite Linkin Park albums, and I won't get too deep into the album right now. We'll talk more about that in the discussion part, but this album, when it first came out, wasn't polarizing, but it was definitely a shift in their sound. But this song, I think, is one of the crowning achievements on the album, and I'm really excited for you to listen to it. There is a music video. We will be reacting to the music video, but hopefully you can... My wife always needs like subtitles or like the lyrics, but this is a very soft song, so hopefully you can kind of hear what they're saying, because this is a very deep song, and I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, I've been in Canada for over 10 years now, but I still need subtitle. I think that is what it is to be an immigrant.
But yeah, let's just get on to it. As I said, we usually jump onto the music video or onto the song, and then we usually have a pretty deep conversation about it at the end, so hopefully you guys will stick around for that. But yeah, let's get on to it. This is Linkin Park, Leave Out All the Rest, off of Minutes to Midnight.
Let's go!
So deep, eh?
I dreamed I was missing. You were so scared, but no one would listen, 'cause no one else cared. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear. What am I leaving when I'm done here? So if you're asking me, I want you to know. When my time comes, forget the one that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be met. Don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Don't be afraid of taking my beating, of shit that I made. I'm strong on the surface, not all the way through. I've never been perfect, but neither have you. So if you're asking me, I want you to know. When my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. Don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Forgetting all the hurt inside you've learned to hide so well. Pretending someone else can come and save me from myself. I can't be who you are. When my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done. Help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. Don't resent me, and when you're feeling empty, keep me in your memory. Leave out all the rest. Leave out all the rest. Forgetting all the hurt inside you've learned to hide so well. Pretending someone else can come and save me from myself. I can't be who you are. I can't be who you are.
Whew. Wow. You alright?
Yeah.
So we lied. She really needed the lyric video, but
did, yes.
I'm probably gonna talk a lot about it. But so you didn't like it, eh? As you can tell, she was crying throughout the reaction.
Oh yeah, so just so you guys know, we did react to the actual music video, but I needed the lyric video, so I asked him to, react for the second for the lyric video, and I guess my reaction was better on the second one. So
Because I guess you could actually hear.
I can hear and I can see what he says, because sometimes I don't.
Yeah. So
It doesn't comprehend, but
what are your thoughts?
I feel like it really hit me just because, especially when he says something about, when he says something about, when I'm gone, forget everything I did wrong. That part, when he said that really hit me because, first, he's gone.
Yeah.
And second, don't we all want that?
Mm-hmm.
When we eventually leave this world behind, we don't want to be remembered by our mistakes, by everything we did. And it's just painful to me just because he's such a I'm not a biggest fan at all. I don't feeling this way because I'm not a biggest fan, but he's just such a talented person. His last album and then listening to this one, it feels like it's a cry for help.
Yeah.
He also said something about here that, I'm not who you are. Who you are, you're trying to make me change, or trying to, I know that I can't take away my pain. I know I'm just pretending that hopefully someone else can take away my pain, but I know, he knows that no one can. And that whole, the whole sentiment of the song is just more powerful now that he's gone. Because it's true that, sometimes with some people, no matter what they do, they can't take away the pain. No matter, because for me, I'm always the one person, I understand mental health. I know I've been there, I'm still there, and I have coping mechanisms so that I know I can go on in life. And I always tell people that, it's no, you try this, you try that, so that you don't feel that way. But it's true, they are not who we are, or you can never take away, like, you know, whatever they're feeling, you can never take it away from them, and they know that. But and they still live like through that pain every day, pretending to smile like through everything. And so that's why this song just really hits me, because God, Chester's voice, man, like
It's so iconic.
yeah, like I keep hearing his voice. It's so like mellow. It's so strong, mellow, like all at the same time. Like it's just, oh God, it's so hard. It's gonna be so hard for the band to even like try to see what, you know, who can have his place.
Yeah. Yeah, this is coming off an album that is, when it first came out, not that it wasn't loved a lot, but it was definitely a change in their sound. It was much more, I guess, soft rock, alternative rock. You know, they came from like the new metal sound, which is like the early 2000s sound. But this album, when I heard it for the first time, when I first heard What I've Done, it was the first single off of this album, I was blown away. I was like, wow, like I loved the sound that they're coming out with. But when I heard this song, when the album got released, this song really hit me hard. Like it impacted me like tenfold. But yeah, like Chester, man, Chester was a voice of a generation, you know. I mean, every generation has that voice, you know. Like back in the day, you know, it was Frank Sinatra, it was Elvis, it was the Beatles, it was Michael Jackson, and you know, and I think for my generation growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, like onwards, Chester Bennington was us, like was for us. And again, before we go on, like I want to give all the bandmates their flowers. Like Mike Shinoda and Chester, those two are just like legendary. But like the entire band is just phenomenal. It's one of the rare times where a band that started off actually ended off together as well. Like nobody broke up, nobody left the band, you know, for like bad reasons. They were a band through the start right into the end. But Mike Shinoda and Chester are just geniuses together. But man, knowing how Chester passed away, you know, by him committing suicide, and now when you kind of go back and you listen to a lot of his songs, it's just it hits differently, just because it's almost like he is telling the world, hey guys, you know, this is how I feel, like this is my inner demons, this is my darkness. And a song like this, I can't even imagine how his wife and his kids feel about, obviously, his death. But like if they were to listen to a song and they came across this song, you know, it is a song about loss. It's a song about what am I gonna leave behind when I leave this earth? You know, are the memories gonna be good? Are they gonna be bad? Like what are people's thoughts gonna be? Did I make an impact? Did I help somebody, right? And with Chester, he helped a lot of us kind of get through depression, anxiety, whatever, right? Whatever trauma was in our life, Chester was that voice to kind of break us through. And it's kind of sad in the end that there was really no one there to like grab his hand and you know. But again, like the meaning of the song is it's a very sad sentiment. There's nothing really kind of, I wouldn't say beautiful about it. It just hits hard. It's hard, right? It's kind of true. It's like, you know, if I pass away, you know, I'm leaving behind a wife and a child, and like what are the memories that they're going to remember me by? Because I haven't been a perfect man. So, you know, I think when you do pass away, you do want your loved ones to just remember the good times, because those are the memories that mean more. Like, don't remember me at my worst, remember me at my best, because we all hit rock bottom, but we all bounce back. And like, hopefully, you know, I did make an impact, you know. And yeah, it's such a haunting melody just because of Chester's demons. And again, it's like, you know, leave out all the rest, just remember the good times, remember the beautiful moments, remember the poeticness of life. And you know, Chester's voice, even though there's like a saying in like the Linkin Park community that Chester screams like a demon but sings like an angel. And in this song, you really get to hear his voice and his melancholiness and his kind of solemnness of his voice, because it does glide throughout the beat. It doesn't really crescendo, but again, his voice is so iconic, it's so memorable that I don't know, I feel like his Linkin Park's music can only be sung by Chester, because Chester brings a soul and a heart to his songs, and especially this song, because you know it's, you know, written in a perspective of maybe his own life, you know, because Chester has always dealt with mental health, right? And for him to like maybe like for him and Mike Shinoda to kind of sit down and write the song, you know, a lot of personal life probably was breathed into it, and you could hear Chester's kind of cry, you can hear the whimper in his voice, and it's a very haunting song. It's a song that's very hard to listen to back then, but it's even harder to listen to it now.
Yeah. Like, I love what you said, you know, like, it's hard, like, this is not really like a hopeful song, and that is what I love about Linkin Park as well. Like, everything I've heard thus far is that it's not a lot of hopeful songs, it's more like telling it what it is. And I think that is why a lot of people love Linkin Park. I do love them too, because they just tell you how, you know, how they're feeling. Like, they tell you what you're feeling, and like, you know, you either like feel it too or you don't. That is why, like, with the sadness, like, also their time like is a little emo, like those emotions, like those kind of like a lot of negative emotions, it's not that he is like saying it like, you know, you need to be hopeful, like he's trying to be hopeful. He just tells you what it is, what they're feeling. And that's why for a lot of people, like you said, like it's the voice of your generation, because that is what a lot of people like in the generation that came after, that is like what everybody kind of felt like, especially like going on your own when you're trying to figure out who you are. There is a lot of pain in it. And I think that is what it is with Linkin Park. Like, they just tell you what it is, like what they're feeling. And so, yeah.
Linkin Park, to me, as I said, it is a voice of a generation, but it's like a voice of an era. It's just like every time they released a song and an album, at least for me, it was always at the right time. Because again, Linkin Park's first two albums were very much of the time. They're very iconic. Like, my favorite album is their second album, Meteora, but that was a very different sound. And as each album came out, you know, they definitely tried to break out of their new metal sound. They tried to experiment. They matured with the times. They matured with their sound, because they became, when they started this, they were just teenagers, young adults. And then as time progresses, you know, you start to face your mortality more. You start to kind of face growing up and becoming an adult, and their music definitely reflects that. And a song like this is definitely a reflection back at life. It's basically when we pass away, what are we leaving behind to the next generation? What are we leaving behind to our family, to our children, right? And hopefully it's something to kind of bring them up, and it's something of a hope, right? And like, yeah, this song, this album, which is kind of like why I really like this album in particular, it's because it's called Minutes to Midnight. It's about the end of the world. And this album and 1,000 Suns, to me, kind of not has the same meaning, but kind of the perception I took about it is basically when you know that the world is going to end, whether it's, you know, the whole world or your own life, and you're facing yourself at the end in a mirror, what are you going to say to yourself? Are you proud of where you are? Are you proud of what you've done? Are you proud of the people you've met? Are you proud of, hopefully, the friendships and the love that you gained? Are you proud of the bad times? Because, you know, the bad times does make us who we are, right? You only succeed in life when you fail. Yeah. So that's why I love Linkin Park's music. They didn't just stay in one style. They kind of grew up with their fans. And yes, they did lose some fans, because a lot of fans will still preach, I want that old sound. But, you know, we've all grown up and we all need kind of like a guiding light. And I feel like Linkin Park is just that band for a lot of us. If you grew up in the early 2000s and that was kind of like your genre of music, of hearing Linkin Park, every album hit, every song hit, and it came at the right time for a lot of us. And this song, to me, again, it's a known song from a lot of Linkin Park purists, but I don't know if a lot of like newer generation will go back to this album and to this song. But this song definitely deserves its flowers, because it's just a very beautiful song. It's a very beautiful, you know, look inside of a man's soul, especially Chester, especially of how, you know, his end was. And now when you go back and you listen to songs like this, to Crawling, to Heavy, there's so many songs by them that you can hear a whisper of desperation, of help. So I love it. I love this album. I love Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester. You know, this is just like one of the bands that has impacted my life and has actually changed who I am. But anyways, enough of us kind of rambling about this. We'll definitely be doing more Linkin Park songs.
Yes.
There's just a plethora of songs I want you to listen to and like kind of hear why Chester and Mike Shinoda and the whole band was just so impactful on the globe. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, we did do a few other Linkin Park reactions way back in the day, Iridescent and Powerless. I'll put them in the pinned comment, but just go check back on our channel. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your comments, everything. We can't wait to read them. And yeah, until the next video.
See you.